What's up, everybody? Welcome to the new, fresh, and just completely raw pilot episode of MultyVersesMadness. So, this show is unscripted. It's me telling the stories of things and how they occurred, leading up to and in between each of the events that took place in 2022, as well as giving backstory of those involved, as well as myself mostly, and the things that I've faced and encountered leading up to this point in my life and career. Multiple, pun intended, trials and tribulations, triumphs as well. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say that none of this was possible without God putting this vision in me that's been in me since I was 7 by God, and I've always known that. I'll be recounting stories, and I have a tendency to say precisely how things have gone down, as well as things that I say verbatim, to avoid any type of discrepancies. I will try not to say names of people, but those who I'm doing this to help promote and get out there, will always give credit where credit is due, as well as those who have helped me along the way as well. And before even saying those things, I just want to say thank you to all of you, all of those people who have done it. And let's pretty much kind of get into it, I guess. This first pilot episode, let's talk about me. Just a little backstory. Like I said, when I was 7, it was the start of my career, essentially, which today marks a 21-year career for myself in the arts, music, and entertainment. I started with dance. My mom, she was a dancer. She did ballet and a lot of praise and worship in church. And my dad, he was a singer-songwriter, always in the studio. When I was younger, and even before then, I believe. And if it looks like I'm distracted, because I'm looking at my daughter's cat right now, who's chewing away at my shoe. The madness ensues. But he was always in the studio, and the parallels of what I do in my career now, along with what they had done and with their passions, is pretty incredible. They are a part of why I do what I do. But as I've told them, that we've talked about and shared it, like a lot of heart-to-heart moments over and through, with them being proud of me and just seeing like my path and my growth before it got to the point where it started to morph the world around me and those around me into also being drawn into and being a part of. We used to discuss how, even though I got these, a lot of this talent from them and some of this passion stuff from them, it's not done for them. I love that they're proud of me. They love what I'm doing and pursuing my passion. I've turned it into a full-blown career. But it's not like for them, because a lot of people make that mistake in life where they try to live for their parents and do things to make them proud, per se. And I've never been the type of person to set out to try to really like do that deliberately. My agenda is just to be the greatest me that I could ever be. And if on my path of doing that, it makes my parents proud, I'm honored and I'm blessed. I said in a song that my first song ever that I made, that came out when I founded my first company, I Am Legendary. It's a line that said, I'll make my daddy proud, I'll still see my mama smile. And it's because I remember the moment when he first told me that he was proud of me. It was something special. Because in the beginning of me doing this, maybe internally people, but like, had faith in me and cheered me on. It's like, yeah, I support you here. And a lot of artists may be able to relate to this. A lot of creatives may be able to relate to this. A lot of people that want to pursue like the dream of theirs can relate to this, where it's a difference between them maybe feeling it within and them actually saying out loud, like, yeah, let's do it, go do it. Stuff like that, like feeding into that, because we live in a world where people mostly feed into the negative versus the positive. Live into a world where you tell somebody that you want to go be a pediatrician. Not everybody around you, if you even told the people around you, like more than once, or just told them about it at all, most likely don't pay it no mind. But there are those, a few, I am one of those people, like you tell me something like that, I'll be like, let's do it. Like, you want to do it? I got you. I support you. Depending on the role that you play in my life, like I'll be, I got your back type thing. But when it comes to just a lot of things, just period, like somebody want to do it, I support your passion, and I'm you can see it. I'm actively doing it. I literally have a thing on Facebook, a saved tab or whatever that anybody can see. It's public. That there's a lot of people who, like, I go in and I see the stuff that they're doing, like, I support your passion, because years prior to that, I paid everyone that's been a part, at least 90% of everyone that's been a part of the events that took place in 2022. I watched for a long time before 2022 even happened, and paid attention to their skill and their talent and their passion, most importantly their passions, and I've supported them along the way. I've liked just about everything that they've posted. I've shared it. I've shared it to stories. Even if I couldn't make it to shows, what's a guy, a friend of mine, Danny of Division Point, his band. I've never seen his band perform once, but when back in the college, when he was telling me about shows, he really wanted me to be there, and I really wanted to make it too, but it would either be when I'm in the studio working, or I had a gig or something like that. And I would be like, okay, I'll help you talk to people to sell tickets, for it. And I pull up, basically, if you ever seen How I Met Your Mother, something like, Have You Met Ted? But it's like, hey, it's my friend Danny, come to the show, just go to it. Like, don't ask me anything about it, don't ask me about the music, just go to it. Stuff like that. And I'm not saying that, like, I spoke and people went, but a lot of times, like, that just that support alone, actively, like, I can't make you to your show, let me find a way that I can help you, because I do support you and I do believe in you. And I did that a lot with Danny often, to the point where, like, he and we don't even need to talk every day, but whenever we have a conversation, it's great and it's in depth. And I love him a lot. And he knows that. He has my black card. He's blacker than I am. But yeah, Danny is one of those people where, like, we've said it to each other, like, we knew that we would cross paths again, like when we first met. Like, it was something about one another's connection with one another. And even when we did connect again, I didn't realize that we met before. He remembered me, though, and It was just natural, and it's rare. And Danny will always be a fond friend in my heart, like seriously. And that just goes to, like I'm saying, passionate. And everyone that's done events with me, with the affiliation, all throughout 2022, they were all picked based off of their passion, and their drive. Talent alone can only get you so far. Talent alone can, get you all the likes and whatever the case may be, I guess. But it's the passion combined, the raw passion, the pure spirit of artistry, that Kanye's so passionate about, that Eminem's so passionate about, that Jay-Z's so passionate about, that Khaled's so passionate about, that Michael Jackson himself was so passionate about. Like, those are the key elements that take people from just being good to being great, but also providing them with longevity. And that's, I'm 21 years now in this. I've seen a lot. I don't know everything, but I've seen a lot, and I've learned a lot, and I've deliberately learned, not stumbled onto knowledge type of learn, but I've deliberately learned to apply to myself, but then share with others. Because it's not just for me, it's about paying forward, so that the next generation of music and of this world, this industry, can be better than the last. This era, these eras, there's too many deaths, too many of them dying, too many songs of people be like, this is my favorite, this is my favorite. It's too much of quick, and not enough of songs that last forever. Songs that can transcend generations. We don't have enough music like that. We don't have enough artists like that. And I'm honored because I know a few of these artists, and a lot of these artists have the potential to be that. But they're, even within this, there are those who I initially started to do this, who were my inspiration to do this, rather. And those three are going to definitely go far, because it was always in them. And yes, I am one of those three. I mean, hence everything that I'm doing now. And I've stated in one of my birthday posts a few years ago that this is my journey, but it's not my journey alone. My journey also includes the journey of the others who are a part of this as well, who've done these events, who collaborate with me in events, who call me day in, day out, middle of the night, whatever the case may be, talking about things, asking about things, building things, getting things together, advice, management, all that stuff. Like, it's not just my journey, and I don't sit around and try to take like credit and say I made you, because that's not the purpose of this. We helped each other at the end of the day, helping me fulfill my goals and dreams as far as being able to provide the platform for these artists. It's beautiful. And then giving them that platform to be able to do those things is beautiful. Like, the problem that people have is thinking they did it. God did. And through him, we had the tools and the skill set and the mental to come together, to build together. And that applies for life as well as this arts and music and entertainment stuff as well. But it's madness in it though, because it's not always easy. It's not that nice, that pretty, that beautiful. It's not always that sweet, that nasty, and you know the rest. But it has its qualms, that's for sure. Has its barriers and roadblocks, and I can't wait to spend this year and even afterwards going through them all with you all. I'm talking about every single one of them. This is just the beginning. The next episode will be about in depth me discussing next few episodes we'll be discussing the celebration of life birthday ball that my mom had, as well as me discussing a series of events that led to that as well. Just behind the scenes, getting ready for the event, day of the event, like a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes with that. But at the end of the day, we celebrated life, and it was beautiful and emotional. In spite of the madness. And then I'll be discussing September 4th, I believe it was, Legends Rise. Talking about that behind the scenes of me working with picking, deciding, choosing the artist, how things got switched around, how that event even came to be, and even me discussing with my wife, Angel, about just how we came up with the name of the event, and like, you know, that whole process, and the radio interview that that we had, even just a bunch of different things like we'll be discussing involving Legends Rise, because that actually took place the day before her birthday, and also talking about depression as well, because that was also around the same time, 2019, around that time. My great grandmother had passed, and ironically, in December of 2019 was when my daughter was born. And December 17th is when we had the celebration of life birthday ball. And like all these things tie in together. Both episodes are going to have some crossover points, which I'll try not to dive into one before the other. I'll try to keep them all, you know, in a collective. Which, that's a pun. So we'll definitely we'll talk about everything, and I'll tell no lie, I'll pull no punch. So get ready, get set. No.